episode 257 of the Battlecast podcast. I'm your host, Peng. I'm joined with HurricaneKaz and Twastell for another 3.5 hour podcast. I'm sure we'll make it.
No, please don't. Like, I was so relieved.
I got thoughts on the meta still, Kaz.
I was so relieved when you guys told me how long it went later. I was like, oh, yes, good. I'm glad my teeth betrayed
What's my second favorite Pokemon?
What?
What's my second favorite Pokemon?
Your second favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Bastiodon, right?
That's fine. I was just quizzing to see if you heard the last podcast. You failed Caleb's corner.
Damn it.
No, it's Ampharos. Anyway. Let's,
Why?
Huh? What?
No. We're not going to get into it. Just keep going.
No. Anyway. Okay. We got stuff to talk about, and Kaz can't be here forever, so... me and Tristan can though, so maybe we'll keep it going. But,
yeah, it's true. If you guys still have opinions and I need to dip,
I realistically can't. Steve is on the train to fly out for NAIC soon. He will be there to cast actually. So first, I believe official cast from Steve, right? He's on like the unofficial stuff.
Well, there was like
he did OCIC.
OCIC?
Yeah, he was like a guest on that.
It's been so long, I almost didn't remember the acronym.
No, it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, but the Oceania International back in 2023 in February. So yeah, but I don't. He didn't cast any official battles. So he was there for like the content day, I guess.
Yeah,
that was back when the ICs were only 2 days for us. Like we would just do stuff. We would just have like a pre-show on Friday. But we literally, like in hindsight, it's kind of wild. We would literally just sit there and talk about like events and everything.
Even NA and EU, like they were also just 2 days.
What happened at NAI? No, I think NAIC.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I can't remember if any. No, I know EUIC and OCIC that year in 2023 were definitely only 2 days, and then LAIC, I don't even think it was a 3-day event even for TCG. Maybe I don't remember because VGC wasn't around then because there was no Scarlet Violet, so they just like put that year on pause, like half the year.
And our Worlds was only 2 days too because we had the last chance qualifier on the Friday.
Well, that was in 2022. 2023, we did change that. Yeah. So we had a grand finals on that last day. I don't recall, but I know OCIC for sure there was nothing on that Friday. I can't remember for NAIC what we did on Friday, but anyway, things are changing and for the better, I would say. So props to TPCI on that. Okay, let's talk about some events before we talk about Championship Series because we got some stuff to talk about. So no surprise here, we have the Candela event close things out on the final week of GoFest coming up this upcoming week. So right now GoFest is happening in Chicago. And I'm jealous because everyone seems like they're having a great time. But Candela Quest for Victory Tuesday, June 9th, 10 a.m. to Monday, 8 p.m. And step alongside Candela for an event focused on raids and battles, etc., etc. Bunch of wild encounters. The ponytail with the little scarf, red scarf.
Bridle?
Is that what that is?
I don't know. I was never a horse girl.
No, I wasn't a horse girl either.
Bird nerd.
Yeah, that's true. You're the first person I mention every time someone likes birds. I was like, oh, my podcast co-host friend and thumbnail artist Kaz loves birds. Yeah, so is your friend Jen. And then
you're gonna ride in the Berberu. You're gonna get to see all my bird nerd stickers on the back.
Oh, nice. Wait, what do you mean? Like in your car?
Yeah, in my car.
In the back, like the back seat?
No. Like I have a bunch of bird stickers on the back window, so you can always tell. You can always tell it's my red Subaru because like all the birds on it.
I rode in Polly's car backseat once, and he had a bunch of rocks in his door. But it's because his son collects rocks, I guess. I was like, why do you have a bunch of rocks in your door? Like, you know how like the door handle, there's like usually like a little like a concave of stuff you could put in.
I also collect rocks, but those stay inside.
Yeah, they stay inside Polly's car. Is what I get. Anyway,
you know, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Well, be careful now. We can't be killing 2 birds with 1 stone here around Kaz.
Rude.
You're not vegetarian, are you?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you do eat some birds.
I love chicken.
Oh my goodness. She be luring them in. She's like, oh, don't worry. I'm the bird woman chicken. Don't worry. No need to fear me.
No, and they know too, because I go and visit this house with chickens sometimes and they really hate me.
You ate my brethren. Okay, field research encounters in this one. So most interesting one is Hone Edge, but that is good. I have done a few Galarian Corsola quests from this last one for Spark. Yeah. And I think it's a hatchet egg one. So I don't know what this is for the upcoming field research one, but we'll find out soon. Like you can always just Google it, I think.
Well, they're kind of themed, I think, right? Because like Spark's thing is the eggs. Blanche's thing was like the 1 kilometer. So I don't know what would be like Candela's thing. Like, is it battles like raids and stuff?
Maybe it'll be raids.
Yeah.
We also do have Hone Edge in raids as well for this event.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you two build your Hone Edge or your Eater Slash ready?
No, I don't have the XLs. But I'm still walking mine.
I added a few more to mine since I helped you make that video. But I don't think it's still done. I still don't think it's quite done. I did take advantage of that last event and evolved some Hone Edges into Doublades to get XL candies because of that bonus from the Go Pass. Oh yeah, nice.
But I still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
The event spawns for this are not super exciting, I feel like.
No, not really. That's why I didn't even cover that much. I mean, we got Scyther, I guess, if you need, I don't know, XLs for Mega Scizor. I don't even know, like, what. Like, Scyther's, I mean, Scissor's not really that good anymore either, so, but maybe it could be good later on.
It's like Mankey is probably the best spawn, and Fletchling, I guess. I don't know. Those had community days, though.
Hey, don't overlook Slugma, you know, my cargo. I mean, Championship Series, different story, maybe outside of Oceania, but I think for limited metas, my cargo often has play, so in meta sets available. Anyway, to go past, the main benefit you get for this one is you get. Oh yeah, this is going to be a raid. I think it's going to be raids for the Hone Edge thing because it's increased attack bonus from friends. In raids from friends, not even yourself. That's interesting. At rank 10, and then 1.5 raid starters at rank 20, and then the deluxe, you get 2 raid passes for spinning forward disc at gyms at rank 20, which is not bad, I guess, because you get if you raid a lot, that might be worth it. But you have to get to rank 20. Getting to rank 20 is like it takes a hot second. I feel like so.
So I wonder if the quest for Hone Edge will just be like something like win a raid.
Yeah, probably win a raid. Hopefully win a raid and not win 3 raids. But
yeah, it could be win 3. You never know.
Well, everything for the other leaders has been won, like 1 kilometer, 1 egg. So hopefully it's just win a raid.
I hope so too. Well, it's okay. So
that's that event.
Yeah, that's that event, and yeah, have fun for everyone that's playing GoFest in Copenhagen?
Yeah,
Copenhagen. So it'll be that. I mean, it'll be during NAIC, so probably a lot of people that do go to events often, like especially our North America audience, probably won't be there because it'll be at NAIC, but some Europeans who might be there.
We'll all still be joining the Europeans raids, though. So
not me, unfortunately, but not a big remote raider. Anyway, let's do some Kaz's Corner now that C's not here. No, I'm just kidding. All right, go Battle League. So don't worry. When I would talk about Wigglytuff for the next 2 hours, only the next 1 hour. I think our GPL section itself was almost 2 hours last week.
Jeez.
But to be fair, we went through like multiple rabbit holes, right? It wasn't like specifically just about the balance update.
Well, and last week there was still, I guess, a lot of speculation. You know, we didn't have the update when you guys recorded last time, so you were kind of like. There was still some conjecture as to like whether things would play out the way.
Yeah, there were a lot of rabbit holes named Wigglytuff and also Wigglytuff.
Stop torturing me, Tristan.
Hey, it is indeed a rabbit, right? So, or some type of. I don't know. He kind of a thick rabbit, but he seemed more
I
like.
mean, it does have the big ears, and it does have like a little nub and tail, doesn't it? I don't know.
Or maybe a very normal sized tail and just a big body, But we don't body shame here. Okay, so we got the energy values confirmed after the update. Obviously, was this really that far off from what PvPoke's rankings were, or were they like pretty on point?
PvPoke was pretty on point.
I think Dragon Scent was the one that surprised me the most. 45 energy for Dragon Scent, like that's pretty low, I would say.
That's the one that I think surprised most people because I saw the most chatter about it online.
It's cheaper than Breaking Swipe. Like Breaking Swipe's the nuke move, right? I mean, it's not that much more expensive, but the fact that Dragon Scent's cheaper is kind of wild.
Yeah, I think Dragon Scent is like pretty similar to clinging scales now.
Is it better?
It's actually slightly worse, I think. I think Dragon Ascent is like 110 damage and Clinging Skills is 120. I can double check that in a sec, but
yeah. So I mean, obviously, like it's lost some energy efficiency, but that's to be expected. But yeah, so Dragon Ascent 2.44 DPE. Clinging Scales 2.66. Yeah, so Clinging Scales does do more damage, but
by 10. But yeah, they're like the same energy and like similar damage, and they're both debuffing itself by one defense stage. So, yeah, that's probably like the most similar comparison. It's also fairly comparable to like a Wild Charge, I believe. Obviously, Wild Charge is a 2-stage debuff, but Wild Charge is 100 damage, 45 energy, so it's like right between Wild Charge and Clinging Skills as far as damage goes at the same energy value. So like, I mean, it's definitely a buff for Rayquaza because Dragon Ascent used to be just so slow and hard to get to, but like it's still gonna be a tough world for Rayquaza out there.
Yeah,
it just doesn't have the bulk. It's tough, and like especially in regular Master League, you have all like the Zacians and stuff running around that you like can't even hit. And then
it just doesn't have coverage is the issue, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it doesn't have coverage and also doesn't have stats. Like it's just really squishy too. That's why like when Rayquaza was like more playable, there was less power creep. There was no like crownization. And also it was when Breaking Swipe was 100% debuff at like 35 energy. So even though it was squishy, it was getting like pseudo bulk from Breaking Swipe, but like now it's just still in a rough spot.
I blame Steelix. Steelix ruined it all. Particularly,
I mean, you're not wrong.
But I mean,
that is true.
When it comes to nerfs, and I mention often I don't really love nerfs unless you nerf like all the good things. But I do think that nerf actually was pretty justified because it did unfortunately kill a lot of viability for so many other Pokemon with Breaking Swipe. But Ultra League Steelix, like I was abusing that in Ultra League. Like I was like, come in Charizard, I don't care. Like come in Swampert, I could Breaking Swipe you down still, right? Into even the Steelix. So
yeah, I don't know why they gave Steelix Breaking Swipe. That was so silly.
Well, I mean, we can say that about a lot of things, right? Like, why do we give Surf to Lantern? But
I mean that too.
Yeah, Steelix is like one of those Pokemon that has access to so many moves that I feel like it's really just annoying no matter what. But it's never the closer. It's never the like super effect. It's just always like, oh my god.
Oh no, you should have saw the first regional Pokemon one with the Shadow Steelix Breaking Swipe.
No, I remember.
He was closing with that thing for sure. It was either that or the low Ninetales. I was like, oh, here comes 2 Shield Charmer low Ninetales again. Sounds a genius though. I can't hate. All right. Earth Power's 50 energy, Hurricane 60 energy. Initial thoughts. Well, what are your all's initial thoughts on the season?
Let's get Kaz's thoughts because we haven't heard them at all yet.
I've been dealing with so much other stuff. I have not had time to really dive in.
Oh, fair enough. What about you, Tristan?
I mean, like as far as we discussed a lot of what we thought and like again what we thought and like we're sort of expecting the values to be ended up being. I haven't like really played or touched Open Great League, so I don't really have any opinion on that. Like I'm not really sure like how good like Ninetales or Jumpluff were ended up being. Like I know we were expecting 45 energy and that's where they ended up, and so they looked good on paper, but like I haven't actually played or watched any Open Great League to know how those actually like panned out.
I did 25 battles of Open Great League when it first started, and the rest I've done all NAIC meta just because I mean I kind of like I'm commentating NAIC, but I still want to like understand the meta fully, right? And I think it's actually pretty good meta. And it'll have plenty of time to play vanilla Great League. But there was a good chunk of cancel Ninetales. Obviously, like some of the first rank battles, just like you see a bunch of random stuff. But I saw a 257 CP B sharp actually, which almost got taken out by 2 mud shots from my Seismitoad. Funny enough, the rest of the team was 1500, so I actually don't know what they're doing there. But anyway, cancel Ninetales pretty common, I'd say. And it is pretty annoying for the mud boys to deal with. I was running Mantine with like double ground in the back, like Seismitoad and Glitter Stumpfist. Hard to say if it was like a really good team or not, just because you know, it was like early ranks and stuff like that. But like, cancel Ninetales did definitely look pretty good, I would say. And I think Seismitoad is actually probably a little better than I expected. It's hard. Again, it's hard to say because it's early seasons and stuff. Because you have the Icy Wind coverage, so you have some. It's just so safe, right? Ice Ground is just rarely resisted by much at all outside of like what was it? Jupiter and Araquanid and Calypsopod, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's like the only Pokemon. Yeah,
Windpod, and then what was that one thing? Surskit. Anyway, so it's pretty safe, but so I did run into a decent amount myself. So we'll see though. I didn't really see any jump off at all, but I think it's because a lot of people were using cancel Ninetales, and I think jump off might be more of a show 6 Pokemon, which unfortunately will only have like 3 show 6 tournaments in Great League, I would say, which is Turin, PJCS, and maybe Worlds. We actually don't even know the Worlds meta, but I think that's just what everyone's assuming, right? Because if they have a limited meta for Worlds, that would be really wild. I don't know if I like that, honestly. But like,
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either.
I think the odds are like super low.
I think a lot of
that much.
I think a lot of people have been saying like, oh well, it's probably not because there's no like cup in GPL for it. So
yeah. Oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. You are right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
So that's like a lot of the chatter that I've been hearing.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, because I just didn't want to put it out of the question because they technically haven't said what the world's meta is, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I think the strong suspicion is that we're gonna have open for worlds. Honestly, it would be insane of them to be like, hey, all you qualified battlers, get ready for this.
To be fair, no one's really played in this meta, right? In official tournament outside of people that go to Turin and PJCS.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be in like a special meta because it is relatively new and there's no tournaments to practice in outside of like, you know, individually grassroots ones and stuff like that.
Do you all remember back in 2022 where they didn't update GPL for like the second or third like update in a row because they're like, oh, we want it, like the devs even said like we want to keep the meta, like we don't want to change shake up too much. Yeah. Now look at us. We got NAIC meta and like a switch up before the NAIC meta even happens.
Well, you know what I also remember about 2022 is how much people complained about how stale it felt.
And that was one of the best metas in my opinion. The Nidoqueen, the Walrein, the Trevenant, the lack of flyers and stuff. So, I mean, even the flyers are around like Trevenant had played into, right? Like, who cares who's Altaria? You had played into that. Or Skarmory, you had played into that, right?
Yeah.
So, it was actually
don't you sass my normal birds?
I'm just saying. Speaking of normal birds, so there's a lot of normal birds in NAIC, and this meta, okay, again, we talked about this last week, right? Where like we just found it baffling that they even updated so many Pokemon in the NAIC meta before the NAIC meta even happened.
That's what I said. I said that was going to happen. I was like, look at these typings. These are the ones that are going to get updates.
It is weird. Yeah, it's very weird though. Like why that, like, I still don't fully get it, if I'm going to be honest. And a lot of the things they did update were not that great. But there are a few things that are probably meta relevant. Dude, Lumineon, I feel like is such a fraud. That thing, like, even if you get hit by a Silverwind on your Grumpig, it's not really that bad at all. It's really not too bad. And then I'm trying to see what else got updated. So I think Kingdra, the surf is actually pretty nice for this update. It just gives it a cheaper, harder hitting move. And I personally like surf a lot on the Shadow Kingdra. Maybe on the normal Kingdra you run Outrage, but I have seen a few Shadow Outrage Kingdra too, and those things really handle the Hypno pretty well. What else got? Oh, Kecleon. Kecleon being relevant like overnight is pretty nice. It got what? Thunder Punch?
And Dynamic
Punch. Okay, yeah. I think getting Dynamic Punch is the big factor there. I got hit by one with Shadow Sneak yesterday, which is really weird. It's less damage efficient than Foul Play too.
So from a typing perspective, it kind of makes sense, but it's just so slow. Because like Shadow
it's slower than Foul Play, and it's less energy efficient.
It's slower than Dynamic Punch.
Yeah.
But it's like
so lost, but I was just confused.
But like it from a typing effectiveness perspective, like it hits Fairy for neutral while being super effective into Psychic. So like I get it from that standpoint, but like Kecleon is just like slow already, even with a 40 energy move, that like having your cheapest move be 45 energy and then Shadow Sneak at 50 just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. Mantine got a buff. I think that one's pretty solid. At least in Show 6. Maybe, I mean, I've seen a few of it in GBL, but maybe not a ton. Because there's so much Hypno running around with Thunder Punch. Sylveon, I do think the Shadow Ball for it helps it quite a bit in this meta. Probably a little bit better in Show 6, but you can use it in GBL. I've definitely seen a decent amount of it. I did see a Romatease yesterday, but that's not as common. Pidgeot, some people really like. Because
It's me.
Well, they did buff Gust, so and Shadow Swan and Swanna. I did face a Shadow Swanna, Pidgeot team.
Yeah, I've seen a few Swannas in GBO.
Yeah. I think it's frail, but those Gusts hurt. I will say that. Quillfish probably not going to be as relevant for this one.
I also really like since we're talking about birds, I also really like Pelipper with the Hurricane access being a little bit cheaper now. Very nice.
Yes. I used a little bit of it in a Show 6 tournament. I didn't do amazing with it. I was just doing some practice to see how it feels in Show 6, but I can see how some people use it. I tiered it in an A tier, which maybe is like a little egregious by me. I don't know. It's just maybe not as common as I thought it would be. But I think you can make it. I don't know if it's meta, but I think it's good if you know how to use it. I don't know if it would be meta, but yeah. But dude, Grumpig Hypno in this meta is just insane. They're so good.
Number 2 and number 3 on PV Poke for a reason, right?
What's number 1 again?
Miltank still.
Miltank I get is a really strong generalist. So yeah, I think Grumpig and Hypno are actually better than Miltank, but Miltank has a ton of play too. So it's super safe. So
it's just more neutral, yeah.
That alone is probably why you probably want to run to Dynamic Punch on Kecleon, but if Miltank wasn't as present, then you probably don't even need it because the Kecleon itself is like pretty frail. So dude, Kecleon's such a weird Pokemon to be hyper relevant because you can't even farm them very easily. Like they're technically spawning constantly, right? But like how to even find one is tough.
I think in the past week I've run into 2. I do feel like it's
really
slightly more common now. Because I remember there was one time where we were all kind of like, we had that research where it was like, oh, you have to catch 10 Kecleon or whatever. Yeah. And it was just, it seemed impossible. Like they were just not on stops. But I feel like I run into them a little more often now.
I think my issue is usually when I'm playing, I'm just has a Go Plus on, so I'm not even clicking on Pokestops.
Well, yeah, you have to actually be engaging yourself. It's not gonna
problem.
Yeah, that's a skill issue, kid.
That's okay. I already have a decent one, but I'm mostly doing it just for the potential Ultra League Kecleon shenanigans. Marshall Galdi was trying.
For reference, on PvPoke, Kecleon is number 44.
Yes, that's one of the Pokemon that's ranked way lower than its viability. I think it's I can see why it's ranked so low. Not a great stat product. All non-stab moves, but
the stat product isn't that bad. It's like similar stat product to Furret, which is like pretty decent.
True.
Like it's not
feels worse for some reason, but
I mean, I think it feels worse because I think pacing is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, Furret has 5-turn pacing, but Kecleon is 6-turn pacing. And all your moves are, like, non-stab as well. Like, so it feels really awkward because you're getting outpaced by so much. And then in any, like, neutral matchup, you're just not hitting very hard either. So, like, it's such a weird Pokemon because, like, I've had games where it felt like super strong, and obviously some of that was like earlier rank GBL with like people not knowing the move set. Like I think I had one battle where someone like no shielded a dynamic punch on whatever their normal was in the lead and got one shot, and then they came in with like a Pelipper or something and no shielded thunder punch. And
Oh my god.
I was like Kecleon going crazy. But like there's some games where it feels so good, and then there's other games where it honestly feels like a fraud. And
No
it feels
shielding
like
a Pelipper with against a Kecleon is pretty bold, but
Yeah,
well, again,
that's a bold move. But
again, they
Kecleon
probably
can have
just
a bunch of
didn't.
moves.
They probably just didn't know what the moves were and didn't realize it got updated. Because
yeah.
this was like day one, like
Oh,
early
okay.
on. So
Yeah.
like that one was more like probably either like lower rank player and or just someone who didn't realize the moves it got now.
Dude, you know that player went to the inventory right away to see if they have a good rank Kecleon they can use. They're like, what is this lizard?
There are some things that affect you so deeply in GBL. You can't.
Yeah, that's norm for me, honestly. But every time I use it, it's always garbage. But anyway, yeah, I think it'll be. I think the meta is actually pretty solid. Outside the fact that there's Grumpig and Hypno everywhere, but I think that's just the symptom of any international meta. There's always gonna be some top picks that are very strong on every team, right? And hopefully there's just not a lot more play outside just those two sidekicks. But we shall see. We shall
I mean,
see.
it seems like I think Grumpig is probably going to be on like 90+% of teams. I
Yeah.
think Hypno is one where like I think is like a little more polarizing where it's very good and a lot of people like it, but a lot of other people don't like it. Because like it's very bulky for sure.
How do you not like it? It feels so safe.
It's kind of safe, but I feel like it's also like can be taken advantage of at times. Because like the combination of the 4-turn move and the fact that it doesn't hit that hard, like if you're able to sort of set it up for like a reverse farm situation, you can often load up on a ton of energy sort of a deal. So like it's a Pokemon that can be good, but I feel it can also be a liability depending what sort of a situation it ends up in. So like yeah, I kind of see it both ways. I feel like both it and Kecleon at times I think feel very strong and other times feel a little underwhelming. And I think that good players will find ways to exploit some of their flaws. And so I think that's probably where some of the decision points will come down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so a lot of the chatter I've heard is specifically about countering the psychic types because they're the most used currently. So I'm really interested, and obviously we won't know until the day of, like, if that kind of holds true, like if we end up seeing more of the counters than we do the actual two top psychics.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the Grumpig is just so good and so safe and so neutral into the meta that you're gonna see Grumpig everywhere.
But there are so many there are some decently very hard counters to it out there too.
Grumpig?
Yeah, like all the Fury Cutter users.
Oh, I mean, maybe, but you can hit back against all of them, right? Like Dua, and then also you could tank the X scissors. I think that's the issue. What other Fury Cutter users really relevant though? Because Barbarical is pretty
Samurott.
useless. I feel like.
Samurott.
Oh, Samurott, yeah. But again, you can't really tank much moves, right, on Samurott, and you could technically tank a Hydro Cannon on the Grumpig. So,
Yeah,
I think the issue with Samurott, those water bug users or the water bug coverage Pokemon is the Pelipper and the Mantine could potentially wall it off if in show 6 at least.
Yeah, that and then obviously any Fairy Cutter user is going to struggle into any of the fairies, but like particularly the Galarian Weezing. So yeah, it's like awkward because it's like, yeah, it's hard to find good psychic counters. I feel like because, like some of the better psychic counters are going to be some of the water types, like the Fury Cutter users, like you said.
Yeah.
Also, like Feraligatr with Crunch is like
Yeah.
pretty decent.
But
The thing
Hypno.
is, well, yeah, the problem then though is with most of the better Grumpig counters being water type, they're more iffy into Hypno because Hypno has the Thunder Punch,
Yeah.
And then they also have one other sort of flaw within the meta where, like, Feraligatr, for example's problem is going to be the normal types because there is a Shadow Claw. And then the Fury Cutter user's problem is going to be, like we said, any of the flyers and the fairies, right? So, like, while there are counters, like, they have some other struggles in the meta. Not that, like, there's not very many hard counter matchups in the meta as a whole.
Yeah.
Which is what I think makes it, like, good and fairly enjoyable and dynamic. But obviously, like, some things are a little more easily kept in check than others. Um, and then some of the better hypno answers are going to be some of the normal types with, like, either ghost or dark coverage, like a Kecleon or a Lanoon or something like that. But then any of the normal types are have a lot harder time with the Grumpig because of the dynamic punch. So, like, it's hard to find something that really covers both because, again, I think the better hypno answers are the normal types because they resist Shadow Ball and force it to go for, like, Thunder Punch, which is less efficient. But then those are weak to Dynamic Punch. And then some of the better Grumpig answers are the water types that are weak to the Thunder Punch from the hypno. So that's where it can be a little tricky from a team building perspective.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
You got a team ready, Kaz?
No. Still doing a lot of research. I think I have the core that I want to use. Listen, I had a lot of stuff happen.
Oh, no, totally fair. No, it's fine. Well, I mean, honestly, the meta just updated this week, right? So you actually don't
cramp
know.
in my plans to practice more already.
Oh, that's okay. Luckily, it's a long car ride, right?
I was like, gotta do your GBL sets.
Yeah, I mean, okay. you make some magical time in my schedule.
Okay. Anyway, so but yeah, for the overall Great League meta though, I think I don't know. I think things are pretty much expected, maybe outside of Seismitoad. Like Seismitoad's ranking's bad, but again, I haven't played enough against like really top solid battlers to know for sure. Like I faced Viper Snape, whoever, who's like a really good player from Canada, and he was running Waterfall, Shadow, and Polion, which really threw me off.
Waterfall is really popular. Has been really popular in a lot of the limited metas.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Well, no, I know, but like not an open Great League, right?
No, in open it's still surprising.
Yeah,
still,
I was surprised.
Maybe you just forgot to change it.
I don't know, but it kind of cooked me because I brought a Seismitoad into it and it did not feel good. But yeah, outside, I'm trying to see like what other stuff I saw, but you know, again, I don't think a lot of people were really using meta stuff. I don't think I saw a single Wigglytuff though, so that's
thank goodness.
Well, yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, some people still thought it'd be good. I just don't think it'd be good anymore. I think it's like usable, but I don't think it's good, right? Which kind of did its job. Whether you agree or disagree with the nerf is one thing, but I just don't think it's gonna be good. I didn't really see any Melmetal either, though. I'm trying to see like things that are new. No one else was really using Glaring Stunfisk but me, but it felt really nice, especially when you get into Tinkaton. Like, ain't no way they're throwing Gigaton Hammer into you, right? It might actually still do more damage than Bulldoze, actually, now I think about it. But
well, at least Bulldoze can like lower their defense. So
yeah,
might as well just go that because you ain't really doing anything else.
Yeah.
You don't have the time.
Yeah, I think the other thing with Seismitoad is I've heard a lot of people saying that like up like one mud shot, it's like win rates look like really good too. So like potentially is like a safe swap, or if you can just like set up a little farm, it could be good.
It's a little baity. Like the non-stop Icy Wind does not really do much, but the Earth Power does hit quite hard. So.
Yeah, but again, I think up a mud shot or even up like two mud shots, it doesn't have to bait as much necessarily. So I think that's where some of that power comes from. Again, I don't think it's going to be like top 12 usage this weekend at all, but I think we could see a couple players.
Yeah.
With Turn and PJCS.
Oh, PJCS is this weekend too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think PJCS might be starting in like a few hours, actually.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, because they're ahead.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy then. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be top usage, but again, I think I could I wouldn't be surprised if a couple players here or there had success with it. Is sort of like the vibe I'm getting on that Pokemon.
Well, what a fantastic transition, because we could talk about championship series right now. We have a few tournaments that we didn't cover from last week because we just went so long. So let's cover those first and then get into it. So we got South Korea up first. And this one had only GBL winning it all, which is ironically, this guy doesn't only play GBL. Well, I'm in a scrim server with him, and no lie, he's asked for a scrim site 24/7. So he definitely worked for this one too. And these teams look freaking nearly identical in the top like 3.
Yeah.
Same, like 4 core Pokemon and almost 5 core Pokemon for. Oh, wait, no.
No, the top 2 have 5 of the same Pokemon. There's only one difference.
No. So the top 3 have 5 of the same Pokemon.
Oh,
With the first guy. So the second place and third place guy both have 5 of the same 6 Pokemon, except their 6 is different, right? So one guy's running a Shadow Quagsire, Trimpori, second place, compared to Unova Sunfish, which only GBL. And then for Goji is running a Gorgeist over the Grumpig of only GBL. I wonder if they team built together. I'm not sure. But
they could have. But yeah, so the top 3 players all had Licky, Togekiss, Shadow Fortress, Feraligatr. And then, yeah, like Caleb said, it was only GBL, and Goji had a Unova Stunfisk, where Charming Pori had a Shadow Quag, and then only GBL Charming Pori had the Grumpig versus the Gorgeist from Goji.
Obviously, this is in last meta, right? So take that this is not the new meta.
This is from this is from last weekend, right?
Licky had 100% usage and that's with Togekiss at 75%.
Oh my god!
Only one person wasn't running Togekiss. Like that's like the fairy that's one of the best fairies into.
Yeah, so this is usage of the top 8 players, not the whole.
Yes, yeah, I know, yeah, but still.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Still, I don't think we saw 100% usage of anything, right, in top 8. I mean, most places are top 16, so maybe that cuts down but I don't think we've seen a top 8 100% usage either if we look to the top 8. So,
no, not to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure that's something we would have remembered and called out in the past as well.
Yeah, I don't know. What do we?
I mean, maybe
I don't think we
need
to nerf Licky either, though. That's the thing, because you can't. If you nerf Shadow Ball, you hit so many other things, right? This is why it's really hard to balance in general, because there's so many cascading impacts to these kind of things that people are just not aware of when they touch sometimes. But maybe rollouts. I mean, what other relevant rollout users are there anymore? Blastoise once in a while, but
yeah, but I mean, most things are sort of
give that turtle low kick or something. I don't know.
Dunsparce, I guess, is still something people use a
lot. Yeah, Dunsparce is so I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but Dunsparce actually probably got nerfed by the Drill Run change. Because Drill Run is doing less damage now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other Pokemon that have Drill Run notice the pacing difference, right? Something like a Fearow or a Seeking, it's going from what, 6.65 to straight 5s. Which is a big difference. But for the Dunsparce, it's still pacing the same on the first 2 moves, I believe, and it's not getting any faster until the 3rd Drill Run. And then it's obviously hitting a lot less hard. So Dunsparce, it was probably actually a nerf, whereas most of the other Drill Run users, it was a buff.
Yeah.
Alas for poor Dunsparce.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, but it wasn't super relevant in the last meta either. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of dropped a bit in usage in general, but
yeah, and so it was the losers finals and grand finals of this were streamed.
Okay, not the winners finals.
No, I don't think so. I think that was already set, if I remember correctly. Or am I misremembering this?
Top 8 all made it.
Yeah, top 8 all qualified.
Okay,
right. It was kind of funky though, because the stream was on. It was just those on a separate day, and it was on a Monday, which was weird. I don't know if they had a holiday that day or something.
Because were they in person?
It was in person. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That is because that's different, right? In the past, all the Korean qualifiers were all online, right?
Yeah,
Like
I don't. I think I don't know for sure, but I don't know if it was like online and then it was just in person for what they streamed, or if it was in person the day before and they just didn't stream it. I'm not sure about that part. Um, but yeah, it was like funky because it was like on a Monday, and like so I'm not sure like in terms of like if that was like a holiday for them or like how they had that day
Most likely.
available. But yeah, there wasn't like a ton of people in the audience for Go, which makes sense if it's like just coming for like a couple matches sort of a deal. But yeah, I think if I remember correctly, wait, or maybe they did do winners finals. I can't remember now. I watched it like a week or that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't remember now for sure. But yeah, the grand finals. Charming Tori definitely struggled. I think having the Quag over the Stunfisk made that matchup a lot trickier for him because he was a lot weaker to the opposing Togekiss. And so he had such a hard time dealing with the Togekiss. Um, I didn't like I don't remember his exact lines at this point because it's been a few weeks, but I remember like having some questions about some of his lines though, because like his team was already on the softer side to Togekiss, and then I felt like the lines of three he ran, like he just didn't have a great way to deal with Togekiss and just got kind of overrun by it. Um, but yeah, Togekiss was definitely the story of the grand finals, and only GBL was just able to use his so well, and I think he just swept if I remember correctly. And I think I might have mentioned this last week, but they were all best of threes.
Yes, yeah, you did mention that.
Even the finals?
I mean, we only saw the finals, but yeah, the finals were best of threes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Unless the rest were best of ones, but no, not the case. Anyway, congrats to these 8 players. I trying to see if anyone has been to Worlds besides Charming Pori has. I know only
Charming
GBL
Pori
went to
definitely
Worlds the
has.
first year. Well, I know Charming Pori is qualified. Had Charming Pori actually attended? I don't.
He went in 2023, I think.
Oh, you know what? We can look this up actually on Dracoviz.
I thought that's what you were doing.
I think he
No.
went
I was just going
2023
off of
and
memory.
2024.
I
At
feel
the
like
very least.
2024 is a very likelihood. I don't know about 2023, but
well, because he went when it was in Japan. That was 2023, right?
I don't recall. So only been to Worlds 2025 actually.
Really?
Just last year. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
why was I thinking he had gone to Japan?
You might have qualified.
Are you thinking of one of the other Charmings?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, there's a lot.
Maybe I'm thinking of Charming.
This was this. I wish they had this data, right? Because I was saying this to Dracoviz people too. I was like, wait, hold on. This person even doesn't have a badge for Worlds. Why? They don't have a Worlds badge, even though they attended Worlds last year. Anyway, maybe it's last year's Worlds people like they don't have that badge yet. But I was saying this to Draco's people. I was like, why isn't there a badge on Dracoviz for people that have qualified Worlds but maybe didn't attend? Because I want to know if he's qualified or not, right? Even if he didn't go, because that's still a feat in itself.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Caleb, you just want this for yourself. I was like, bro, it's not for me. It's for like everyone that doesn't go to Worlds that still qualify, right? Like Boom, for example, qualified for Worlds last year. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, we'll get on that. But maybe 2025 Worlds, like no one has that badge yet.
I don't know.
Does Blizzard have one? Because
I will say, so Goji.
No, they don't have it. Yeah, they don't have.
Goji was first in the 2024 South Korea playoffs, and then attended 2024 Worlds and got 81st.
Okay.
So Goji's been to one Worlds, and then it looks like Goji also competed at both 2025 and 2026 EUIC, trying to get. Didn't do the best, but was there trying to get that top 4, hoping for a qualification.
Yeah. Anyway, either way, congrats to these players, and hopefully we'll see some of them at Worlds this year. I don't know how difficult it is to travel from South Korea to US right now, but I don't think you need a visa to go to Korea, but I don't know about the other way around. Could be could be different, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's going to be South Korea. We got Lima coming up real quick. So let's talk about that. I'm gonna grab some water real quick as you two can discuss this one real quick.
Yeah. So Lima was also 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you guys just, oh my gosh, you guys missed so much because you spent so long on that update. But here we also, like, there's nothing really crazy about the teams. Congrats to Memi, GRR, for taking the first place. Is this the first time he's won?
Yeah.
Nice. And then we have
Kaz, what do you mean there's nothing crazy about the teams? Did you look at Desync's team?
Well, Desynced always rings the crazy. But I mean, I meant like in terms of the top placing team, Memi's team. Like, there's nothing really super surprising there. It's only once you start to sort of scroll down that you see, oh goodness.
Okay, but I need to tell you what Pokemon. I need you to tell me what Pokemon that is on Memi's team on the far right.
No. Don't make me. Don't make me do it, Tristan.
All right, we'll wait for Caleb to tell us when he gets back.
No, it's a Wigglytuff. Ugh. And it's on the second place team too. Very rude. But again, this was the previous season.
No, I know, but it was just funny because last episode Caleb was like, "Oh, I don't know why Wigglytuff needed to be nerfed. Like, there's no data behind it. Like, it's dropped off, and it's like it just got first and second here in Lima. It
comes and goes. It comes and goes in unruly waves, Tristan.
It was one of the top 4 highest day 1 usage Pokemon in Lima as well. But yeah, so Memi's team was the Licky, Shadow Quagsire, Empoleon, Galarian Corsola, Altaria, and Wigglytuff. And then interesting, Ice Chris was running a Galarian Moltres, which seems to have mostly fallen out of the meta.
Yeah, basically the exact same team except for the flying type.
Yeah, Moltres instead of the Altaria. But yeah, they had the other 5 were the exact same. And then Cheese Curl getting 3rd place. I think this is his highest placement in a regional. Or I guess this is technically a special championship, but I think this is his highest placement at an event. So big congrats to him.
Yeah, he's such a nice dude. But I could have sworn that he had done cheese. Show me. Oh, it's with a Z. Yeah, number 3. Oh, he got number 7 in Seattle. That's what I'm thinking of. I was like,
I knew he had a high placement, but I thought it was like either 5th or 7th, and so I was like, this is better than that. Getting a medal, so that's pretty cool. A little bit of an interesting team from him with Double Fairy, Togekiss, Azumarill, and then also running Shadow Hydreigon.
Yeah, trying to channel that Tauntaun Batuse energy. And then, yeah, of course, Desynced bringing the craziest team I think I see on this particular list with the Licky, the Syncaton, the Gourgeist, the Pelipper, Shadow Politoed, and Spiritomb.
And mind you, this is before the move update, before the Hurricane buff.
Yeah. What? I mean, listen, I am a Pelipper stan for a really long time, but like, I'm not sure I see the value in like in Open Great League, especially prior to like it getting that little buff. But I don't know. I guess you can really quickly do some chip damage against most things. Like, there's nothing that's resisting your Weather Ball except for like a potential Altaria.
I mean, mostly water types in Altaria, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the handy thing with it is if people are running the Aqua Tail Mud Bomb Quagsire, you do wall that off.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, something like an Altaria does too. So, again, I don't I don't know how desync works.
My bigger question I don't know how. What is the Politoed doing for you? Like, if you have also the Pelipper, like, what? Like, what are they doing there together?
I mean, I think the Politoed's like pretty good into like Empoleon, also decent into Quagsire, and I'm assuming he was running Ice Beam, so it's going to be good into like an Altaria as well. Beyond that, like I don't know, like again, I don't know like how his mind works or how his play style works, but like he's able to like find like the funkiest Pokemon and like just find things that work for him, and like he can find a way that they like match up well into the meta at the time.
Yeah.
So like again,
I definitely appreciate it. Like I love seeing it because I mean it does make these you know, it does make it more interesting trying to speculate.
Yeah, for sure. And then and then below that in the top 8 we had 3 Sableye, like 2 Grumpigs, so like some other variety of like things that we know have been doing well, just showing up here as well.
Yeah. I do see the, you know, the 16th member of the top 16 here also trying to rekindle that Dartrix magic. Steps. I appreciate
and then we have Carlos RS Net with the Galarian Weezing pick and a Metacham.
And trying to keep that Credilli somewhere.
Also I don't know how to say this name. Something Diego Yuyas with the Shadow Drapion and the Shadow Alolan Ninetales.
All 6 shadows.
Oh yeah, all 6 shadows.
Insane.
Quagsire, Fortress, Altaria, Feraligatr, Drapion, and Alolan Ninetales, all shadows.
Just absolutely absurd. What, like, who hurt you? Like, what, like, why do you have to take it out on everybody else?
I don't know, Kaz. I think they would ask who hurt you because you're not using any shadow Pokemon.
Nobody. I have to save them. That's why. And it feels good. Okay.
I don't know, Kaz. You never known how good it feels to use a shadow Pokemon that hits 20% harder.
No, I'm okay. I'd rather not feel like I'm actively torturing my team members. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I don't know why this like popped into my head, but like, it's been how long has it been since we've had like grass types getting any love or attention? Because I feel like there's so much water in the meta now, and yet actual like grass types are still pretty hard to come by. I mean, we've seen a few Gorgeist popping up, and we have the Credilli and the Dartrix here. But like, man, who doesn't like grass types over at Team Pokemon?
I mean, Energy Ball just got buffed.
Yeah. But it's not even grass types that are really like that we're really focusing on with that move, is it? Jump Bluff a little bit, but mostly the Ninetales is what.
Ninetales is the best grass type in the meta.
Yeah, obviously, all 9 tails made of grass. Anyway, it's just.
We did have Cradilly dominance for quite a while, and then people wanted that to get nerfed. I think
people wanted Rock Tomb to get nerfed. Let's get real. Like,
why do we want to get nerfed?
We're talking about how grass types, nobody loves them.
I didn't really mind. Okay, I think the Credilli meta was just annoying. It was because it was Credilli and Claydol. I think Claydol was more annoying for that meta than...
It was Rock Tomb.
No, but then need the coverage, right? Otherwise, like, how could he... Like, the superior meta was even worse, I feel like.
Well, but then Claydol wasn't meta, but Cradilli was meta, like, even longer, right? With Acid.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
like
mind that. I feel like, but I don't know.
the problem, I think part of the problem is that for grass types is that there's so many good steel types right now, which makes it hard for them to function. On top of like there being a variety of like potentially good flyer types as well. Like
Yeah.
obviously Altari is the most popular, but it's like you also have to dodge like Talon Flames here and there.
Togekiss
Yeah.
outpaces, super
And then
effective in Orchard.
you have Togekiss, you have like, and then like a lot of grass types are going to struggle into Aegislash, into Fortress, into
Mm-hmm.
Tinkaton, into Corviknight even. Like, and that's the thing with grass in general, because I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, there's too much water types. We got to buff the grass types. And it's like the thing with grass is if you look at grass as a typing, it's one of the most or it's probably the most polarizing typing in Pokemon, and especially in Pokemon Go. Like obviously there's a lot more utility to grass and like VG, just the way that their battles and their mechanics are set up. But within Go, it's like grass has one of the most weaknesses of any types and is also one of the types that is resisted the most. And
Yeah.
a lot of those happen to be the same, right? Like poison, fire, bug, flying are all resisting grass while doing super effective to it. And so it's hard to have grasses that have healthy type interactions and good coverage into different anti-grasses, especially because there are so many different anti-grasses. And like that's why Cryodilly was like so good and so neutral, is because grass rock is actually probably outside of steel types is like the best coverage
Yeah.
combo for a grass type. And then the defensive typing of grass rock is also like softens out a lot of the matchups because it makes it so that Cradilly isn't as dominant over water and ground because it's taking neutral from those, but then it also gets rid of the usual grass weaknesses to things like flying and
Yeah.
poison and fire as well. So like from a
I mean,
design
I never minded Credilli, honestly. Like I liked that it was kind of a flexible pick that didn't have so much bulk that it was like overwhelming to take one out, but a super flexible Pokemon. And Rock Tomb at the time had that had a little bit higher damage, guaranteed attack debuff. Very nice.
but yeah, I think like even like I don't like the real problem for Cradilly wasn't even the Rock Tomb nerf. It was just a shift in the meta with
Yeah.
more steel types. Right, you have Aegislash popping up more, and
Mm-hmm.
then the big problem for it really is the Tinkaton now running Gigaton Hammer, because like it used to be able to often beat Tinkaton when Tinkaton was running Play Rough, but
Yeah.
now with Gigaton Hammer, there's just nothing for Cradilly to do there.
Well, it dropped in usage before the Tinkaton and Aegislash were around. In last meta, but
Yeah, I mean, it started dropping off,
I'm trying to
but
think
like,
why.
I do think that Tristan is accurate, though. I mean, there did start coming in some other types that didn't give Credilli as much of a window to
Yeah,
succeed.
it was just a lot more steel types, right? Like you have the Empoleon as
Leon,
well was a
Mm-hmm.
problem for it,
Sizzler
and
back
then
then.
well, it was good when Sizzler was good.
It wasn't at its peak though. The peak was before Scissor, I think. Once Scissor got Bullet Punch, it was harder. It was still used, but not as much
Yeah,
because that Bullet Punch
I
down was
I do
disgusting.
think that that's true.
But obviously,
Yeah,
once they
but
nerfed Scissor 2 seasons ago, I'm trying to think what happened in early last season. Besides the fact that there's Fortress, because Fortress were all running Voltrish in the early few weeks.
it was Empoleon was a big one. And
I
then
do think that
Like,
Fortress switched to Bug Bite, and then you saw more Aegislash, and then you
yeah,
had Gigaton Hammer,
yeah, that's probably
Tinkaton.
what it
Like
was.
it's just all the steel types gave it a hard time.
I guess technically
But
Rockslide was nerfed. Rock Tomb was nerfed as well at the start. So like, even if it wasn't like that irrelevant, a lot of people just shied away from it a little bit because it was like, it's worse than it was, right? We'll try something else. Which, to be fair, there were other great options too, and you didn't really need grass.
yeah,
But
because we can't really talk too much about Rock Tomb being buffed because now we see Fortress everywhere. And that loves having Rock Tomb.
Yeah, I don't even hate that nerf that much. But yeah, because Fortress is a very polarizing Pokemon with like a lot of resistances, right? And it has
But
one weakness, right?
I was gonna say, but one super mega weakness.
Yeah, but fire types are really hard to use, so that's why it was super safe.
Well, and like even though I get shredded by fire types, like it still has super effective coverage into them. So like again, it's not like you're trying to be against a fire type, but if you can farm up energy, you can still threaten them back.
mhm.
Like especially if it's a Talonflame, right? Like Rock Tomb's going to do so much damage there.
Yeah. Okay. That was Lima. I think you all talked about that, right? I wasn't here for the whole conversation.
We did talk about it.
Yeah, we kind of veered off because of me.
Yeah, we just needed you to note what Pokemon was on the top 2 teams.
Hey, I didn't see a single Wigglytuff in the top 8 of Korea. That's what I'm saying. No, but I will say though too, because even when last week UNC mentioned it, I was kind of shocked that Wigglytuff was actually because what caused the drop off of Togekiss? Because Togekiss was just like the better fairy or a little bit Tinkaton here or there. But I'm trying to look at these teams like what prompted them to even run Wigglytuff.
I think some of it was Sableye.
Yeah, I think they were over preparing for Sableye because Sableye was not nearly as strong in this one, but it was very strong in Europe, like the week before, right? So, but okay. Well, and then we had one final tournament of that meta, and that was Indianapolis. I didn't get to watch any of this yet because I was going to try to live stream like a watch party for the top 3, but they wrapped up so fast. Like by the time I woke up, it was like already wrapping up. I was like, huh? And I woke up late, obviously. Dude, let me tell you, SoCal players are next level, man. CaspianPike, first ever tournament win, first year competing, but a frequent goer of our locals. I know this guy very well, and I lose him all the time, actually. I don't think I've actually beat him in a best of 3 in Show 6 in our locals. But he wins it all with Togekiss on the team. Nighttime Clash had Togetic, which is even crazier. I'm not sure what that was for. Like Heat Wave for the Fortress, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's Heat Wave for like the Fortress. I was gonna say Heat Wave for like the Tinkaton too, but I think Togekiss actually Shields Up has a better Tinkaton matchup just because of like pacing and Peck doing more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably just for the Fortress matchup mostly, is my guess. I mean, it also does have more bulk, so like I don't know if there's like certain matchups where he wanted more bulk.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was running his with Dazzling Gleam as well, so he was probably running it as like a Sableye answer as opposed to like Togekiss that loses to Sableye. So that might have been part of it too.
Yeah, he was big Drain Punch users here, and CaspianPike takes it all the way too. Did you guys watch this one?
Not really. I saw a couple battles here and there, but like I didn't see the grand finals or anything.
Yeah.
But CaspianPike definitely beat some pretty top players. I mean, outside CaspianPike, right? The top 4: Nighttime Clasher, S James P, Doombug. Like we all know these. So
you know what's crazy? This was Dunebug's first 4th place ever.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He's never gotten 4th place before.
Is that crazy though? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't go to as many tournaments as Doombug, but I literally only have one type of medal in my collection too.
Yeah, but it's just funny because it was like Doombug. It was like, oh, Doombug finally completed his medal collection because he had like first, seconds, and thirds, and I'm sure he's had like a handful of like 5ths and 7ths too.
Dude, I
so
always
it's just funny.
This man always sees the silver lining because some people are like, man, I was so close to the top 3, or like I really want to win another regional. He's like, man, I finally cashed in. I completed the gauntlet, I'm like, all right, good stuff. Like you didn't make like day 2 at LA. He's like, oh, it's all good, didn't play as well, but on to Indy, right? Like he's always got like a very positive approach, which, yeah, I respect it. Fortress through the roof in usage. 7 out of top 8 were all using Shadow Fortress. Were they all Bug Bite? They had to be, right? With the Shadow?
Probably.
Shadow typically runs bug bite.
Typically, but you never know because people be running Dondozo in this meta, so I don't even know what's going on.
Should be able to check on Dracovish though.
Yeah. And then Mushroom Queen gets, I believe, her first ever top 8 finish, which is really solid there too, with a pretty wild team. I mean, you would think the Sableye wild, but she had a Poliwrath and a Abomasnow on the team.
Abomasnow!
Yeah. Mateus? I don't really know this person, but this is their highest finish ever finished too, I believe, with a Shadow Dusknoir.
I've scrimmed against them a lot before. Like they do practice tournaments in a few different servers, so I'm familiar with the name.
Uchaku's, I think, got top 8 before, and Pocket.
And then Pocket's team was interesting though, because he had
the
Dondozo, Shadow Annihilate, Steelix, and Togetic.
The Togetic, I'm sure him and Nighttime Clasher team built a lot with, because I know they prep with each other a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, some people are really big on the Dondozo train. I don't know if I'm fully convinced. It is bulky, but like, I feel like it is bulkier than like a Melodic, but I feel like Melodic is like very similar to Dondozo now, but just with some more consistent non-water damage, maybe. I don't know. But big Dondozo believer, I guess. And hey, I watched a few of his battles on like day 1, and he made it look good. So, but yeah. And then a bunch of other very prominent names we see. Arrow brought back the Dartrix, another top 16 Dartrix placement.
He brought Shadow type Flosion this time, though, too.
I don't think that's particularly amazing.
Instead of the classic Ninetales.
Yeah, I don't think that's
I know it wasn't updated yet.
No, it wasn't updated. I don't think it was particularly amazing, but I have noticed from playing a lot of Aegislash in Open Great League, it is probably the one Pokemon that can nearly one-shot Shield Form Aegislash with that platform.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't actually fully one-shots, but if they have, like, 1 or 2 Incinerates, then you're getting one-shot. It's insane. Because I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it's super effective, but Shield Form could take everything, right? No, not from the Shadow-type Flosion. That thing is bonkers. I don't know how he could play. I mean, it's super RPS in this meta, right? Because you got Quagsire on like every team, and like Licky Licky's like pretty annoying. Yeah, playing Licky Licky, so that's not as bad. But I didn't really watch Heroes Battle, so I'm not really sure. But he didn't run back to Aegislash, but still a pretty good performance from him. So
and he also had Lyle was running Shadow Alolan, Ninetales, and Pangoro, and Grumpig.
Yeah.
And then BTW Dino got top 12.
Yeah, high
with
too.
Shadow Charizard, Chestnut, Grumpig, Feraligatr, Togetic. The Chestnut was actually like an interesting core breaker to some people's teams, because there's a lot of people that were running like Unova Stunfisk plus like water types. I'm actually like, I didn't see the battles, but like his first day 2 round was against CaspianPike, and I was like, how is CaspianPike gonna beat this this Chestnut if he doesn't line up the Togekiss?
Did he beat it?
He beat it. I didn't see it, so I don't know what he did. I mean, I guess Fortress with Bug Bite's like decent, even though the energy gets swallowed. But it's like Licky Licky, Quagsire, Stunfisk
in return, right? So
yeah,
that's a pretty wild team, though. Feraligator's not terrible. Like, if you're up energy,
true.
You're probably not going to bait.
Feraligator's never terrible if you're up energy.
Also true.
Yeah, unless you're running Crunch, Hydrocan, and Joe Guzzlord. Like, oh, that
unfortunate.
Yeah. But anyway, big congrats to CaspianPike. I know before he went, he didn't lock in his World's qualification yet. His first tournament was actually in Seattle, and he made like day 2 in his first ever one. And he was like first tournament, so super low seed. I was like, who is this guy? And then Drayflame's like, oh, he's a local of ours, actually. I was like, what? I was like, because I hadn't gone to the locals that he's been to. And then after he started going to more locals, I was like, oh yeah, this guy's legit. And I mean, he beat like Sceptile Ice, I think, in Seattle on like day 1 to make day 2, and then like he beat like some other players too that were like pretty solid. And then so big congrats to him too, because I know he joked. He's like, yeah, I just gotta win Indy, I guess. I was like, good luck, Like, he had decent amount of championship points to like. I don't think he could have. I don't think he was free to go to NAIC. Was the issue? So he needed to play well. He needed like a top certain finish for sure. Like, and that probably would have gotten him it, but hey, this is a
I don't know the math for sure, but I feel like once he was probably like top 4, top 3 or something, he probably was in a pretty good spot championship point wise. But win it all, get that trophy, and just lock in the invite for sure.
There's a couple people on this list that I know haven't locked in their invites yet. I don't know about Lyle after this one because he should be pretty close. He has like another top 16 finish. I think it just depends on how many local points he has. But S. James, one of our best players, I would say, in the world, but definitely in NA. He doesn't go to a lot of tournaments. So, oh my gosh, this is his first tournament.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was going to say, he actually really hasn't been very visible this season, at least not like at regionals.
Well, he doesn't go to tournaments very often. The thing is, he's auto qualified both years he's competed. Indianapolis at 2024 and then 2025 Sacramento, right? So he's just been winning a tournament every season. So this year he didn't win one. But yeah, like if he won in Sacramento last year, then that would have really helped him a lot. But he did win in Sacramento a lot, right? So he was good. But yeah, this year, unfortunately, like Indy was so late for in the year, so he didn't have time to budget out. But I think he's going to NAIC. So I think the problem is he doesn't have local points. So he's going to need a pretty high finish at NAIC. But
that's the problem for a lot of people.
You as well?
No, because I don't really get out to the locals.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not really like super trying to qualify. Like it's for me, it's more
never
about the
say
experience.
Never.
I'm not saying never. I'm just saying not really.
Last year, when Tristan was trying to qualify, what do you need at a minimum last year? Do you remember at NAC?
I needed. What was the placement? I think so. I ended up. I had enough points when I beat Toad, which was my first winners round win on day 2.
So top.
So that, like 16 maybe.
Was that top 16 or top 20 something maybe?
I think that was top 16.
Dude, yeah. I think that's what you needed, right? I think you told like me and some other people about this ahead of time. And I was like, oh boy, last tournament of the year, biggest tournament in NA, and he needs to lock in a top 16. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be like Tristan's never even made a day 2 before.
Exactly.
And then what, you got 5th or something? It was insane. I was like, okay, well, that's really roasty occasion right there. So yeah, anything's possible. Anything is possible. You're one away from actually the guaranteed invite too, right? Which is even crazier.
True, yeah.
But I mean, you lost to like the 1st and 3rd place players, so like it's pretty good. So yeah, you never know. But anyway, I'm curious if Lau just has any local points. I think he's probably in a slightly better position. He should be in a slightly better position than SJ is my guess. But
I think
it would be a bummer if those two do not make Worlds.
I think Lyle was like at a decent number of points like before Indy when I looked at like JJ's spreadsheet. I think SJ didn't have much. But
I'm thinking about this. What do y'all think about like reducing the regional points and like IC points for those that don't make top cut? Like I kind of like look. I don't know if like I don't know if I could say I even deserve a World's qualification. It's not guaranteed yet. I'm at like 800 points, so I probably have locked it, right? But like at the end of the day, like I made one day 2. And it was like just top 16. That was like I got eliminated right away, and the rest were just like random points. I got a loose bracket on day 1. Like I didn't even make like stream appearances on those days, so most of them, and the rest are local points. And like I don't know, it feels a little. I mean, obviously there's some pay to win aspect anyway because it's a privilege to travel and have lodging and all this stuff. But like I don't know. Like I feel like it's unfortunate that like, and again, if some people qualify like this, that's fine, right? But like, there's a lot of people I know that probably locked in their qualification already because they have like more points than me, and they never even had a day 2 performance all year. And I just feel bad because I see people like SJ and Lyle, and they're like really good and they're consistent. They just don't have the privilege to go to as many tournaments, and they don't make it, right? I'm not saying like you should auto qualify just because you get a 3rd or like a top 16 or something, but I feel like there should be a bigger jump between top 16 and outside of top 16.
But there's so many like variables because also how many people get points depends on how many people actually submit eligible teams to play.
Yes.
You know, so because I got points in Orlando for going 2-2, and it's that really only happened because of how many people were there and submitted qualified teams.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something that I was necessarily expecting.
Yeah. I think I guess how I phrase it is, and this may be a controversial take, I don't know, but I think qualifying worlds should be hard, right? I think because the tournaments are much bigger these days, I think, at NA just in general, Kaz. So not to say you wouldn't deserve worlds, but let's say if you max out your local points and you go to 4, maybe 4 is enough actually, or you close to max out local points, you go to 4 tournaments and you get the minimum amount of points, you probably have your world's qualification locked, or close to it. You know, definitely if you go to 5, I think it's top 6 best finish, right? For regionals and ICs, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think back in the day, 2022, 2023 was crazy, right? Top 2 in regionals or top 4 IC, and that's it, right? Feast or famine. You get a bunch of top 3s at regionals, you get nothing but a little bit of prize money and some card packs. That's a little crazy,
also,
right?
But, like you were saying, it's legitimately, in order to do enough, it can be legitimately hindering to be able to do that much.
Yes.
So that's also part of the work, is being it, if you really want to put in the effort to qualify, that means you have to travel and you have to do locals, and both of those things can be very difficult for people to do.
It's a privilege in itself. And I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to say certain people just shouldn't go to worlds or whatever like that, but I think I would feel, because they increased the amount of points you get from regionals and ICs this year, or at least regional. I don't know about ICs. They did increase it for ICs too, actually, I think.
I think ICs went up by a bigger percentage than regionals did.
Really? I thought regionals went up even more. But anyway, I think it's a tough balance, you know. But I and also the championship points things, it's not just Go, right? I think it's the same standard points for VG and TCG as well. So for them, okay, a top 32 when you have 1,000 people playing versus a top 32 when you have 100 people playing is a very different story, right? So I kind of get it, but I wonder if they should make some adjustment down the road, because again, I think it's much harder to make a top 16 than a top 64, right? Or top 40 something, which is what I've been able to scrounge up. And I'll look and I'm I went 3-2. I almost lost half of my matches, you know. I don't think it's that impressive. I'm just speaking for myself, right? I don't I know, because I played in those tournaments. I was I didn't play that well, you know, if I'm going to be honest, right? And I could have done better. And but also just in general, I was if I just did this all season and went to 6 tournaments, I have my world's qualification locked. And I don't know, but
it's definitely a tricky balance. I do think that part of the problem with because I see what you're saying of trying to make a bigger maybe imbalance between higher placements and lower placements at regionals, which I think does make sense to an extent. But I think you also need to it's tricky, because I also think that you want regional points to be some amount higher than local points, because locals are such a mixed bag. Obviously, I know your experience with locals is a lot different than a lot of other people, right? Because you're playing people like CaspianPike and
K-Pine.
Ashton Ash and K-Pine and Elite and Haydonis.
Yeah, don't forget Drake Flames now, aka
Drake. Right, so obviously your local experience is a lot different, but a lot of people's local experience is you're playing maybe 4 or 5 people. Maybe one of those people is an employee from the card shop you're playing at, and another one is a TCG player, and you're getting 50 points for first place. So it's it's tricky because the local experience is so different, and I think if you drop the regional points by too much, then locals start to weigh a lot more. And then again, those are not balanced. And we're already saying there's people like an SJ who don't even have that many local opportunities. And so if locals are weighted more than regionals, like proportionally, you see what I'm saying? Like
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I like back when
it's a
locals
whole
were so much.
ecosystem.
Yeah, like back when locals was like you get like what 400 something points from it. Like that was a lot too. To be fair, um, I'd almost be, I'd almost be more in favor of having more local slots, but you get a little less points for every local. So the points will probably break down to, I'd say, maybe instead of 50 points for a first place finish, you get 30 points for a cup, right? Because that would, I think that would encourage more people to go to locals in general, right? And then it's not super imbalanced as well, right? I don't think it's that imbalanced right now. I just think that like when it's only top 4 finish, best finish, like it's pretty easy to. I mean, I maxed out my challenges like half a year ago, right? I still haven't finished my cups because those are a little less frequent, but still, like, anyway, I don't know. That's a discussion for people that do the point system and stuff.
yeah, and
Maybe
I
they're
think
listening. Who knows?
I think the other thing which I mentioned on this podcast a while back is I think ideally in the long term, um, you would have like both for like locals and regionals. I feel like you would have some sort of like CP scaling based on the size of the tournament. I don't know like the best way to implement that, but like maybe first place at a 4-person cup is 50 points, but first place at a 30-person cup is 75 points or something.
Yeah.
Because like think about it, like the cups at regionals are so much more stacked than almost any local.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, they get some like prize wall tickets and everything like that. So I'm okay if that's like not like super like important because that's such a small amount anyway, and like those are people that are already paying to go to regional stuff, so they're already benefiting a lot from just attending the regional, I would say. But
Right, but it would also then incentivize people because right now you're almost incentivized to find smaller cups if you think you can win or get second place because it's easier to get there.
yeah,
Obviously, if you think you're going to be getting like I don't know, like third through sixth, then you want a bigger cup because of kickers. But like, if there was more points for winning, it would incentivize people to find bigger cups to compete at,
yeah,
right? And then you'd have a similar thing where, if you're getting third place at a 200-person regional, that's going to give you more points than if you get third place in South Africa,
yeah.
right? Because we see those imbalances already. So some sort of scaling, I feel like, might make things a little more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting a little sidetracked here on the tournament results, but big congrats to CaspianPike for the very solid finish. I know he was actually trying to hunt for a top finish in GBL actually because he needed some championship points. But let's talk about that because we do have the leaderboard qualification. So this is a judge, Dusko. Dusuko. I never know how to pronounce this, unfortunately. But
Suko?
It's neat. His name is Nico. Or their
okay,
name is Nico.
yeah.
Nico.
Anyway, so Nico, judge from EU that works a lot of our NA tournaments and worlds or like international tournaments as well, was saying that you can submit a support ticket to make sure that your Pokemon Go account is a link to your Play Pokemon account. Honestly, this is just like here's decided by the amount of eligible competitors, but this is very niche, right? And most of our listeners probably this doesn't apply to. But if you have like a very high finish in GBL last season, then just keep in mind for that. So just look up DSUCO_ if you want to find more details on it. It's one of their first or one of their recent.
Well, so
tweets.
just like we can just like sum it up because it's not too complicated. So basically, they submitted a support ticket to get clarification on how the leaderboard challenge was going to work, because a lot of people were like unsure. They were like, because like for global challenges for VG, like you get championship points based on your placement within your rating zone. So like it's a global thing, but if you're the highest ranked NA player in the global challenge, you would get the highest points, right? So people were trying to like understand that, and also how they were going to handle, players from like Japan on the leaderboard and stuff like that. So basically this was just a support ticket to clarify that. And so basically the answers are that anyone who either is like not in a TPCI region or doesn't have their account linked will be like excluded. And then the leaderboard challenge is awarding championship points just based on global placement, so not by rating zone. So it's basically just like you take out anyone on the leaderboard that is not eligible because they're either not linked or they're from like a TPC region, and then first place would get the first place points just globally of whoever's still on there.
Yeah.
Is basically the answer. But the thing too is like if you look at the kickers for the leaderboard challenge, there's a kicker at 2,049 competitors that gives points to top 1,024. So like I don't know like if we're what kicker we would or would hit, but like there's a decent chance that you could get championship points even if you're not showing up on the GBL leaderboard. Because the GBL leaderboard is only the top 500, and some of those are people that either aren't linked or are from like a TPC region. So you'd be going beyond that anyways. And then if we hit that kicker for like top 1,024, like that's beyond the scope of the leaderboard anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, look into that too if that applies, and that may be important for some people. I'm actually very curious if that will push some people over the edge. But we'll find out, I guess, in the coming weeks. Once hopefully they announce how it's awarded. Like hopefully it's not just like, oh
yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is like, how are they going to like notify people individually, or is there going to be some kind of like,
I don't know,
more public statement?
Yeah,
I don't know. I would suspect they would notify people like privately, and then we'll just see those kind of people on, social media.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, are they gonna notify people, or are they just gonna add the points to your account? Like, you know how how you go on your account like after a cup or a challenge, and like you'll see the points added in. Like, it might just be like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then when? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, like,
great questions.
Because if someone is kind of hinging on those points,
they should know sooner than later, to be fair, because they have to plan their travels, right? So
yeah,
hopefully they don't wait too long, because traveling these days is also just not cheap at all. So
nope.
But yeah,
I mean, I don't know like what the deadline is in terms of like when they're doing the cutoff in terms of like you got all your points in and the top X are getting their worlds invites, right? But like they'd have to have it in by whenever that's happening.
Yeah. Which is going to be not
soon?
Too long. Yeah, not too long after NAIC, right?
So we should probably know more within the coming weeks. It'll be interesting to see, like you said, Caleb, like who those points might give them a bump that they need, but also I'll be really interested to see like what level of kicker we hit. Obviously, like those lower kickers aren't doing much. It's like 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, but like it'd just be interesting to know like how many eligible players are even like competing in GBL sort of a deal.
Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of last minute qualification things, our final tournament is upon us soon, NAIC. And of course, we have Twitch drops for this. Casters have been announced. I will be there. Steve will be there. Let me see the full list of people. Yeah, so I should know off the top of my head. So it's Martine.
I was gonna say, don't you know?
I was trying to pull up a graphic, but I was like, I already know. I actually don't think they made a graphic yet, but it's on their website. Softove, Butters, Martine and Adequins, and Henry, Homesize Henry. This is Henry's first ever international too, I believe. So,
nice.
Yeah, because he hasn't worked international before this run, right? So big congrats to him as well, too. Very well deserved. And then we have ourselves some Twitch drops as well. For Pokemon Go, it's a Sea King that knows to charge like Icy Wind, which is nice. It's already Legacy. And it's a better move to have because sometimes you don't really need drill run these days. You're running like something else, but yeah. And then you
You
get
say that, but I feel like now, like
yeah,
at
maybe drill run's
least,
better. Yeah.
yeah, like I
Well,
think, like for the NAIC meta, if you were gonna, I
Megahorn's
think,
pretty good. I feel like no.
yeah, drill run Megahorn.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But then you're walled off by the flying waters.
Yeah, but like drill run's your pacing move now, right? You're getting there straight fives.
True. Yeah, I mean, I guess like there's no Weezing that's ever going to shield the icy wind. And you're not going to throw a Mega Horn at it. So, yeah, it's tough. Well, honestly, it doesn't matter because, well, unless you're trying to use it in the Go Battle League, like for the people that are actually going to the tournament, the tournament's already started. So,
yeah,
you're not going to get the Twitch
True.
No one's going to be using the Sea King they're getting.
Unfortunately, also the encounter IVs are not ideal, but maybe you can low friendship swap with it. I don't know. Yeah, Tony Goldine, Candy XL.
I will say though,
Duty
the
Potion.
the GBL ticket for this season, you know how like the first step gives you like encounters? Those all had no IV floor on them.
Oh yeah, I heard people talking about that.
Maybe someone's been listening to the podcast. Blink twice if that's you. Yeah. If it is, sorry ahead of time for the 3.5 hour podcast you listened to last week, but hopefully you took the feedback well. If we were in agreement, 10 fast CMs, 10 charge CMs, and then most importantly, redeeming it expires on June 26th, right? Because they give it a pretty short window for you to redeem it, so just make sure you redeem it. And then, yeah, and then on the next day, I think.
No, so it just says if you, so that's if you watch at least 30 minutes. And then if you watch at least 45 minutes, you get a separate code that gives you an elite charge TM, rare candy XL, 25 charge TMs, and 25 fast TMs. So like these Twitch drops are like actually really good.
Yeah. Only thing they can do more is add some Stardust, but it's fine.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are like struggling on the TM front. So like if you do both of them, that's 35 charged and 35 fast TMs total, plus the elite charge TM, and then also the seeking with icy wind. Like this is quite good.
Yeah.
So like definitely make sure you watch. Like even like I'm gonna be at NAIC, but I'm gonna just find a way to like pull up the Twitch on my phone while I'm like watching on the screen or something, or maybe while I'm like grabbing lunch. I don't know, but I definitely want to get those Twitch drops too.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a lunchtime activity.
They also usually do like a rebroadcast like after the broadcast is over, so like that's an option too. Like whether you're at NAIC or not, like if you miss the main broadcast, you can also tune in for the rebroadcast, which is usually like at night US time, which is also more time zone friendly for people in other parts of the world. So like again, if you can't make the main broadcast, like you can also catch that, and that counts for the Twitch drops as well.
And I have a YouTube video on how to claim the Twitch drops so you get confused because it is not the most intuitive. So
it's not.
I always post it every time there's international worlds, and I had to reference it myself. I'm like, how did I do this again?
Yeah, I reference.
Yeah, it's like confusing and complicated for no reason.
Yeah,
and there's like multiple accounts you have to use, and you have to like link different things and all these different steps.
And then it doesn't always like show up immediately. Like you have to wait for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
that's NASC. There's also Twitch drops this weekend. They're doing a GoFest stream on Sunday with Speedy and Gabby. And there's Twitch drops for that too. They're not nearly as good, but that's the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that though. But yeah. Okay. And then outside of that, we have Turin and PGCS this upcoming weekend. Not too much to say about that one, but just tune in to those things to find out more. And yeah, best of luck to anyone competing in, because that's a final tournament for a lot of people too. Well, especially PGCS. Wait, do we know the total amount of people competing in PGCS? Probably not, right? Because
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we got ourselves a little bit Grassroots news. I know we don't cover Grassroots as often, but there was a Battle Frontier Battle Tower, which was like a last chance qualifier essentially for Worlds if you weren't in like the top tiers. And only teams that were not already qualified for Worlds can compete in it, which is I think the competition is still pretty strong, right? It's not nearly the same because obviously the teams that made it to Worlds are like probably the strongest ones out there already. But the competition is still pretty solid, and it's a little bit different than the last time they did Battle Tower, which was in summer of 2024. It's like around Worlds when that happened.
No, they did a Battle Tower last year too.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
we just didn't do well, or do we?
We just didn't do it because we were already qualified.
Oh, they had 2 Battle Towers.
Yeah.
For no. I mean like 2 Battle Towers for the same Worlds.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so they had a battle tower. Why did they have a second battle tower? What's like that's like a
I think it was because
it was like a last chance thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the first battle tower was like in the middle of the season, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the first season of Battle Frontier like dragged on forever, and it was like I don't know, like a year and a half, like maybe almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And so they did one battle tower. It was like during the summer.
It was during Worlds. Like it went all the way through Worlds of 2024 because it overlapped a little bit with Worlds. Yeah. Because I remember I was in the Hawaii hotel, like watching some battles.
Yeah, like went through Worlds, and then actually that one also went a week over.
Yeah.
So the final week was like the same metas, but after the September move update, which was certainly a time.
It was
so that was like the first battle tower. But then they did another battle tower. I can't remember if it was like last spring or last summer, like before Battle Tower or Battle Frontier Worlds.
Yeah.
It was like a last chance qualifier. So there was 2 of them in the same season because the season was so long.
Okay.
But now they've like basically shortened the season so that the season is like 3 cycles and then probably a battle tower, and then Worlds is like their new sort of cadence because they realized that first season just dragged on so long.
Yeah. Well, Battle Frontier, I love the timing too because they have it right after the regular season of the championship series is over, and between that and Worlds, so it's like it's perfect because it gives people to focus on something and not overlap on another focus, and at the same time, it's something for people to keep up with when there's no official tournaments happening on a weekly basis. Yeah, big fan of that change, and the Cool Cats made it somehow. I was skeptical because
somehow.
Well, I mean, we were not even in the top tier, right, in the regular season. So it's like I mean, we have good players, but I think part of it is a lot of our focus is more on championship series, as most people are, and then the other part is like a lot of our good players that used to be really really good, like are like washed up or like busy in life and stuff. Like I know Cindy had a baby, so she hasn't been playing. Like Berto's like in school, like grad school or like trying to go to grad school and stuff. So he's busy. I haven't 3-0'd someone in freaking forever. And then
Caleb doesn't change his team ever.
Bro, your boy locked in though. 4 rounds, right? 4 opponents. Combined collective record was 11-1. I dropped 1 game. And it was same team 3 weeks straight. And then, I finally changed it up. But I changed 1 Pokemon, which was, hey, I feel like credit where credit's due. I feel like I had a pretty good read on the meta, right? These were no you'd be like, oh well, what about these opponents? Maybe it's going to only get harder. I was like, yeah, I'm not worried. I was playing my last week of battles in the lobby because I was waiting for a friend at like a massage place or whatever. So I was watching her dog because she needs someone to watch her dog while I was so I was watching her dog. It was like a dog in the lobby of a hotel, like a massage place. And I was lagging nonstop. I was like letting so many moves sneak through. It was insane, but we still made it happen. So,
so the real highlight is we played the Battle Kittens.
That was amazing.
We did play the Battle Kittens. I don't even think they listen. They probably don't even listen to the Battlecast podcast. But
they're in the EU region.
Yeah.
And they're not like one of the.
It's Kittens with a Z, which is weird.
Yeah. Which makes it seem even more related to you guys.
Imagine if their logo was just like a knockoff version of ours. Their logo is very different though. So
their logo is just like sort of a black cat with eyes. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fine. I mean, they're solid players for sure.
They took Pato's team to 1 point.
Oh, was that them? I thought it was a different team that did that.
No, that was them. Yeah,
Oh,
they
that
were
was them.
up.
Oh,
They were
okay.
up 10-8 on Pato's team, and just happened to get swept in the last match. But
But
like
that's
they
not
had
the
him on
team
the.
Pato usually plays with, right? I think that he was just a free agent on that team.
No, he moved
Oh,
over
that is
there.
his team?
It is now, yeah, as of a couple
Oh,
cycles
because he didn't
ago.
play in the last week, so I was kind of confused.
No, he didn't play in he only played the first week of Battle Tower. He
Oh,
must have just
okay.
been busy, or I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, he's still in school and everything, so I mean, maybe it's not as important for him, which is fair because I mean, But yeah. So be on lookout. Congrats to everyone else that qualified as well through the Battle Tower. I legit didn't even realize we qualified. Like well, like at first, because I was like, oh, because on the Battlefront 2 website it shows like week 5 coming up soon. So I was like, oh, we got another week, right? Like I was like, yeah, we're doing good right now, but like we got another week. And I was like, wait, hold on, we're 1 point away from qualifying. Like, okay. Because I was sitting here thinking like, oh man, Tristan gonna be on my case again about changing my team for next week, right? Like I was like, I feel good about this one. I was like, maybe I bring back the Briseon again, just run back to the same team from the first 3 weeks. But then I was like, wait, this is the last, because I legit was messaging someone. She's someone that follows my streams, and she was put into play that week in because all her teammates were playing in Indy. So it was her first like Battle Frontier, like playing in the Ultra League meta. So she just messaged me stuff. And I'm trying to help her team build because she doesn't have all the Ultra League stuff built. And her opponent ran the weirdest stuff. Hisuin Zorark, a Mewtwo. This is Ultra League, by the way. A Mewtwo, a Zekrom, like Avalug. I think not even the Hisuin, just a regular Avalug. It was some weird stuff. It was the craziest thing. She did win 1 game, but like it was just way too much for her. Like it was just way too much spice. Like I couldn't even help her too much because I was like, I can't even scrim with you because I have none of these things built for Ultra League.
Oh my god. I personally hate that too.
Yeah.
Like when people run these spicy teams, I'm like, I can't even, like I try really hard to actually build stuff for Ultra League.
Well, and then she told me, she was like, I assume you don't have a lot of stuff built, right? I was like, sorry, I don't. So I was like, I got you next week. And she's like, it's like, no, unfortunately, this is the last chance we'll ever be able to scrim you. I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, right. It's not that she's not playing next week. It's that no one's playing next week. There's no. That's when it hit me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of confusion because it was like the size of the pools was like enough because they were in Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
So there should have been 5 Swiss rounds based on the number of teams.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they wanted it to be concluded like before the season change.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to deal with like metas being funky, like post move update and whatever. So they just made it 4 weeks instead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for our Grassroots. So be on the lookout for.
Congrats to us, is your.
Hey, I didn't add this to the agenda, by the way, but congrats to us, yes, and all the teams. I mean, we got like eliminated right off the bat last time, so I'm not really expecting.
For us, I mean, we're not playing.
Huh?
My team isn't playing. We didn't even play the Battle Tower. Like.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, that means you are a free agent, eligible to be picked up for Worlds. Because that's what Dre was. Dre Flames was messaging me constantly. He's
Drake.
Like, yeah, Drake. He was like, dude, like, if Battlecast don't make it, like, you want to play at Worlds for SoCal Swab Blues? I'm like, I live in SoCal too. I was like, I probably could do it, right? Like, I'm friends with like a lot of them on their team, and like, you know, like, I probably got nothing else better to do during that time anyway. So, but now I'm just like, I'm gonna have to find someone else now to play Ultra League. I kind of don't mind being a free agent for other teams because just like kind of no pressure. I'm just like, if I do bad, I do bad, right? Like I feel bad, but like I don't feel that bad, you know, like because it's not really. I mean, not to say I'm like trolling around. I'll still try, but it's just like a little less pressure, I think, than compared to like my actual team that's competing. But I don't think we have any tea topics this week.
Not really.
So let's move on to the YouTube comments. My guess is we probably have. I took a sneak peek. I think there's a few comments about the Wigglytuff stuff, which is, you know.
Wait, did we do comments from the previous week?
You're right. I don't know if we did. Let me take a look. I kind of feel like we might have, because
maybe we did, but I don't remember
the rest
now.
of it. Yeah, it was just me and you, I think, at that point. So 53. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did, because we had the interesting. Benji was talking about the mega something every time there's a rocket balloon or something like that.
Oh yeah, there were some tips for Kaz.
Yeah, tips for Kaz.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Where's Zach Seed says, where's Kaz? We need her to stop Kayla from going on an hour-long rants no one agrees with.
Listen, sorry.
Whether you agree with her or not, no one. I don't. Okay, I legitimately. I'm not. I mean, like, we'll see what my thoughts were on the Wigglytuff, right? That's still like TBD, right? And I could be wrong on it. Of course, like I always say this, I could be wrong on things, right? But I really think these things through. I don't like have a strong stance on stuff without putting thought to it. Do you all recall any single person saying that Annihilate getting low kick was a nerf or it wasn't a buff besides me? Because I think I legitimately was the only person saying this. And you know how much flack I got for that? Not on the podcast, right? But like people online, people in my YouTube comments, everyone was saying this, right? And I'm like, I don't think you guys are really thinking about this critically. And again, I could be wrong,
but it wasn't a nerf because everyone that did well with Annihilate was running counter.
No, exactly. That's why it's a nerf. I was thinking about this other day. That's exactly why it's a nerf. It was so bad of a buff that people still use the old moveset. So that only, if anything, confirms that it was not a buff and it was in fact a nerf, right?
Oh, it wasn't a nerf. It was just neither.
It wasn't a buff, right? Well, no, I thought it was a nerf because it'd be less used, which is true. It was used way less. It was used way less, right? As a result, obviously some people kind of pivot back towards it, but yeah. So again, like I'm not here to people please, right? If people don't like my takes, that's totally okay, right? I mean that's the whole point of podcasts and everything. And like as long as people are respectful, like I'll debate with people for like all day long, right? Like I don't care if like people on this, like I don't care if Tristan, Kaz, or Steve don't agree with me either. Like I'm not mad at them or anything. I'm just sharing my take, right? Because if you all just wanted to be here to hear all of us agree with everything, every nerf and buff and stuff, then be a different podcast. There'd be a 30-minute podcast.
It'd be a very different podcast.
Yeah. All right, GBL's done. All right, let's talk about next thing. We just be reporting the news. We wouldn't. This is. I'm not a news reporter. I'm like a pundit. I feel like is the better way to. Rich Rank says, love that Caleb says it's okay to disagree with him. Whenever someone disagrees with him, he just talks over them until they decide it isn't worth weighing in their opinion. My bad. All right, got a little heated. This isn't Senate or the House, Caleb. You don't need to try to win arguments by filibustering. Well, I will say this, right? I'll eventually let people, like, my fault for talking over them, right? I may get a little too excited, passionate. But I do let people talk, right? Like, afterward. I'll keep going, right? I'll keep going until, like I'm either proven wrong or they don't have any convincing points to keep going with it, right? I welcome any listener to hop on the podcast too if they'd like to talk about this. I mean, I'll talk about it all day long. I mean, we got time. We got time, especially Scroll Trapper. But yeah, my bad for talking over people, but that's that. Chrissy says most chaotic episode yet. I've responded with most chaotic episode so far. And Nitrotondo says, hi, Tristan here, agreeing with Tristan. Yeah, the other Tristan. Should have done championship series before the attack update. And then says, also, I think the NAIC meta could potentially be developed by people who already knew this incoming attack update. The part that then wouldn't make sense is announcing it so early before the attack update is published. I do agree with that, right? And like, because I knew I was on production for Orlando, so I knew ahead of time that we're going to reveal the NASC meta towards the end, right? Obviously, with everything that happened at Orlando, people were not even talking about it. But even if like all that stuff didn't happen, the Firestar, Nighttime Clasher stuff, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it would have been that hype because I didn't know what's coming in this update, right? So I was just like, is this I don't know. Can we be hype about it? Like we don't know like what to sim or everything, right? And I know like in Adequance, his server was doing practice tournaments, and they like it was with the caveat like, hey, we don't know if it's a trend or not, but if you all want some reps, right? And I think that's really nice for them to do. It was probably still helpful for some people, but yeah, it did shake up the meta enough that you're just like, what was the point? Like we knew a meta shakeup was going to happen anyway, right? So like I feel like it was a cool thing to drop, I guess, but I feel like it didn't matter that much that they dropped it. It
was interesting. Like it was interesting, and it definitely garnered a little bit of extra attention. But yeah, I mean, it came with a huge asterisk.
Well, I mean, so the thing, I think, like, the thing here is just that the timing is really funky for NAIC, because if I remember correctly, they said when they announced limited metas that, like, by the time of, like, registration for a tournament, it would be announced if the tournament is using, like, Open Great League or limited meta. So even if it wasn't announced at Orlando, it would have been announced by the time NAIC registration went live. Yeah. Which still would have been before the move update, because they want people to know what they're signing up for. and like obviously like a move update changes things, right? But it's like at least you're preparing for a limited meta and generally what you might expect, right? Like it's not that much different than people who are competing in Turin this weekend who signed up for it months ago, and obviously the move update shakes up the meta and it's not the same as what they were originally expecting, right? Like it's sort of similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Um
Like, yeah, it's like interesting, but you don't really know what to do with the information until later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like this contrast is like, because I thought about it a little more after we talked last week. I think like the contrast we're only seeing because of the timing of when it was announced versus like when the move update hit. Because I mean, again, we don't really know like any like the process behind these metas or the move update or anything, but it's like there are things like if you look at the LAIC meta, like you had like Turtonator was good. Turtonator got Brutal Swing and Dragon Claw in the September update. Right? Like there's changes like that. The only reason it looks different to us is because some of us actually played the meta before it changed to like what the actual version is.
Yeah. Interesting condition for sure, and the thing is, a lot of it did actually make a difference. So, particularly Kecleon, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But like I do think because like because NAIC was one of the metas in the battle tower, and like some things did change, but obviously some other things didn't. Like Grumpig was still good in both versions.
Yeah.
And different things like that. So like even though like things like like there's new players like Kecleon and Sylveon and whatever else, like you still were able to get some practice with Grumpig and mess around with some of the Grumpig counters, like see like is Feraligatr good, is Duat good, is Samurott good, like how is Lanoon, how is Oinkalone, stuff like Miltank, right? Like so like there are a lot of new players, but like you were still able to get some reps and get a feel for at least some of the matchups and start thinking about what Pokemon you may or may not be interested in using.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Anyway, last comment on the YouTube comments. Blind Craziness says, I think the disconnect that Caleb has is he's looking for from an empirical data driven perspective, which I think of very fair. I think that these changes were made with the game feel in mind. Wigglytuff lends itself to fairly one-sided play patterns. You hard win or lose hard. That is something good players can account for and play around. Game devs have to consider new players who might see this mon winning on stream go into GPL, not understand how it functions, and have an unfortunate time that then leads them to dropping it forever. Niantic has a vested interest in play Pokemon being balanced, or PCP, play Pokemon champ PCP. What's PCP? Is that play Pokemon? I think being balanced, but at the end of the day, their main focus is getting new players. I personally don't even know if it's that deep. I think it's just more reactionary than anything else, right? It's like people clamoring for nerfs and stuff on these kind of things that I just like I think the Cicero, for example, had a lot of neutral matchups. I think also Wigglytuff is not. I think people are forgetting, right? Because they think of like the really hard winning matchup, the hard losing matchups, but like that's why Wigglytuff was so good because it's neutral into Quagsire, right? It was neutral into Gastron when Mudslappers were around. Like, it was actually a really close matchup in Zero Shields, right? Wigglytuff and Gastrodon, I would say. It's got like a lot of play into Corviknights, right? A Steel type even. Like that's not that bad of a matchup, right? At all. Like there's a lot of play into it. So I think people are actually really forgetting about some of these other matchups that like also Wiggles up in the Licky, right? That was like a pretty neutral matchup. It's just the play style is a little bit slower, but not everything needs to be super fast, right? But this is just my guess, right? And Blind Craziness can be absolutely right on this about trying to get new players in. I think if the devs are really main focus is getting new players in, they should work on accessibility. I don't care about any sound stuff because new players are not going to understand the meta anyway. They're going to be running weird stuff anyway, and it's going to take them a while for the point where Wigglytuff and like a Wigglytuff matchup feels really bad or feels really good. I guess it's going to take them a while for that to even like click in their head. I think the bigger issue is even getting a Wigglytuff, right? Like when did Wigglytuff even spawn to build one or to build the meta Pokemon? Like I think like it's possible that it is their intention, but I legitimately think the biggest issue with this game still to this day is accessibility. Forget all the meta discussions. Forget how bad or good the meta is. You just can't even get people to build a full team of 3 or full team of 6 these days, right? It's hard. Like anytime I have a friend that's trying to get back into Pokemon Go, they're like, oh, like I kind of want to do what you do, right? And like they'll watch my streams. Like I kind of want to play some Go Battle. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like what should I run? I look at their inventory. I'm like, oh, I mean, like, you know, this guy's got like an Absol, a Flareon, you know, like, you know, a Nidoqueen maybe, right, from the early days or whatever. And just like I can't even tell him to go out there and catch something because half the time, you know, not even half the time, 99% of the time, it's not even spawning, right? Like, when's the last time you saw a wild Jigglypuff? You can't even build it if you want to, you know? Like, oh, yeah, Wigglytuff into Guzzlord is a terrible matchup. How are they even going to get a Guzzlord? They don't have to worry about that right now. They got to worry about even having anything relevant, right? So that's my... Again, maybe that is their intention, right? Just because it's not the best approach in my mind doesn't mean it's not their intention. I just think more so not that it's more reactionary because it's not like it's these metas are balanced by robots, right? That know the meta and these are balanced by people, right? Devs are still people. People they consult with are still people, right? And people are going to have different opinions on things. Someone really thought that giving Surf to Lantern was a good idea. Like that wasn't like, you know, that wasn't a randomly generated thing they chose. Someone really thought that, right? And I know what
that someone is Arrow.
Well, yeah, Arrow's one that, right?
Who also wanted to give it Volt Switch.
Yeah, I mean, luckily they didn't do that, right? And who knows? Maybe a dev literally saw Arrow's tweet and was like, hey, maybe we should do this, right? But Arrow wasn't the only person to think that, right? So like, it's not like to hate on Arrow and stuff, right? Like Arrow's not the only person
I just have to give Arrow crap about that.
Yeah.
It comes up.
Like Arrow's not the only person to think about that, but like there is like just because a meta update happens doesn't mean it's a good update. I think that's what my main premise here, right? There are like credit where credit's due. When they have good balances, like I'm like, yo, that was good, right? That was really clever. I didn't even think of some of these things, right? But then there's sometimes I'm just like, this might be teetering on the lines of a bad decision, like the Surf, you know, like the Surf, Lantern, like the Charge Bug, Gligar, Skarmory meta, like the Steel Wing nonsense. There's been some bad decisions, right? I don't want to go that far. I'm not saying nerfing Wigglytuff was that bad, right? Like you know, like there's been worse. So, you know, but I think it could have been just untouched and been fine. Because I think power creep is the biggest issue here still, right? And I don't think anyone that I've argued with or debated about this has given me a strong answer to that. You know, like I don't think it's a coincidence. Like, obviously, a lot of the stuff may be targeted just for NAIC meta Pokemon, but I don't think it's a coincidence that if you look at all the Pokemon that were directly changed in this update, very few of them are newly things we've never seen in the meta, right? Ninetales is probably the newest thing that's like decent, but like, someone won with the Ninetales like a few weeks ago, right? It's not like that bad Pokemon. It just wasn't like amazing, but you could team build around it, right? Jump Up has been meta. Like, I don't think Mantine has been meta, right? In the past, just not this one, right? And I think like that's the issue is power creep is so strong right now that you even rebuff Swampert to its near prime and it's still not that relevant anymore, right? Like you give all these different moves to new, like we don't see as much variety anymore because the power creep is so high. And I think that is the biggest issue. And I honestly, I don't know how to solve it because you could try to nerf everything at the top, but there's always cascading impacts too, right? And so that's why I think like until you figure out how to nerf those things, you don't nerf anything. You just keep buffing things, right? And hopefully you buff things enough that they don't like overlap. Like you don't want to buff Surf because Jellicent already has it, right? You don't want to buff Ice Beam because Azumarill already has it. But you could buff maybe niche moves. It's like I think like giving Beak Blast for Community Day for Toucannon, super smart idea because only Toucannon has it, right? And like sometimes Toucannon can be like, you know, usable, right? Maybe not in Open Great League as much, but like, you know, like you give open windows to
maybe in NIC.
I mean, I know some bird enthusiasts might do it. Question is, how many birds are you gonna bring? Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of my thoughts on that, and of course, open to discussion further on it. But I don't sit here and talk about this stuff for hours just to talk about it. You know, like I again, I'm not saying that I'm always right and stuff, but I think I hopefully bring up enough points for people to really double take and think about things. Because I think nerfing things just based on personal preferences is a very dangerous and slippery slope. Because what if one day someone and the dev team's like, I don't like how mugshots used, right? I don't like that's not I don't even use Wigglytuff much, and I don't even use Sister much, but I still think they're bad nerfs, right? Because like you have to be able to separate your personal preferences. I think that's why so many people disagree with me on this because they don't like Wigglytuff, and I get it, right? They don't like how it plays and all that stuff. I totally get it, but that doesn't just because you don't like the playstyle, you don't like the outcome, you don't like being RPS, doesn't necessarily mean that it is bad for the meta, right? The game is always inherently going to be RPS, right? Like
you can't nerf something just because you personally are annoyed by it.
I mean, some people want that, and we'll see how it goes.
I know that's what people ask for, but then it's just there's so many Pokemon now, and there's like so many more nuances than there ever has been before, and that's only going to keep growing as things are added to the game. So the cascading effect, it just cannot be fully predicted. I don't think by anybody.
I know you have to go soon. Do you want to talk about the Gen comments on Podbean real quick? Okay, we can't let these go, right? All right, so some of these are like a month ago. So 2020, episode 251. Sorry. Before that, there's one after that. Did we talk about this one comment from Artemis Dragon? I don't remember. Artemis Dragon says, I think Max Battle is a half-baked idea that needs an update. Did we talk about this? I was hoping it would be the real PvE gateway to PvP, but sadly, it's just another shiny hunt expedition.
Yeah, No. We talked about that one. I remember.
It's the one after that. So Jen says she would trade with me at NAIC. And then Artemis Dragon 15 days ago at the Arrow episode says, Niantic, TPCI, and now Skullplay are all about bad optics. Anyone trying to help expose issues with the game should always proceed with caution because it's very obvious that they do not care once you've made any issues with their game public. I think this is regarding the Jason situation.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Fair points. Jen says she has 12 Mega 3s. Okay. Hey, time to catch up to your bird aficionado counterpart, Kaz.
I know.
Jen, you should send her. I'm going to remind you in the car ride at least to NAIC about it.
I think she's like much more efficient than me with this game, like with the things like staying on track with like keeping all the things together.
Yeah.
I think she's better at that than me.
You know. At a minimum, Kaz's reminder to do her megas can be every time we record.
Yeah, we got 2 full hours to do that. And then Jen says, my boat is Yamper, the only shiny fam I don't have in home. Fair enough. Dude, we don't even know what the movesets are, so I literally gave him a vote because I didn't know what to vote, right? And I think by the time I looked at it, it was like over. It's like, Nickit won it, I think, right?
Nickit, yeah.
Jen also says, bring back 2 times transfer candy. Dude, 2 times transfer candy. I've been holding on to my candies for next Halloween. Because I remember that Halloween, you got the extra like chance of rare XLs and stuff with the battle pass. Like I'm like going to just transfer everything only once a year now at this point, or like at least the rare stuff. And then Jen says, "Mud Boy of choice," in quotes, would make for good fan art. Oh, fan art for the Mud Boy of choice. That could be interesting. It could be interesting. Hey, maybe a future YouTube thumbnail. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I got to use some Seismitoad. And the Arms Dragon. The final one is: what is this Sylveon slander I'm hearing? Is this not the Battlecast podcast? Traitors. Okay, I will say though, Arms Dragon, Sylveon, very very legitimate in NAIC. I did face one in Open Great League, and it didn't have Shadow Ball. It was throwing Moonblast at my Galarian Stunfisk, so that was the only one I could really use as a metric. So it's hard to say, but yeah, in NAIC meta, it's next level, and who knows? It's not the most frail Pokemon either. So, but we'll see. TBD on the Open Great League stuff. I mean, I'm sure like a Desynced or like a Zwilus or a Tauntaun may win a regional with it, but yeah, I don't want to count it out completely. It does have great coverage moves. Okay, but we're going to end it all here. Appreciate you all. Only an hour and a half less than our last episode, but hopefully it's enough to keep you through your car rides and wherever you're going. Maybe you're traveling to NAIC right now. Maybe you're traveling to Turin, wherever. But yeah, we will catch you all next week.
And hopefully see some of you at NAIC.
Yeah, and all of us.
We all will be there.
That's right. If you got merch, wear it, right? Well, you don't have to wear it, but maybe you should. We can take a photo together. But yeah,
the third meeting of all the cats.
The third? What was the first?
Last year's NAIC.
How's this the third then? What about the second?
World.
NSC. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, we were all there. At
Steel trap is not steel trapping. It's more of a what is it again?
Marshmallow
bro.
picnic.
I've been slacking on the creatine, man. I gotta get
marshmallow picnic strikes again.
Back on the creatine. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we will catch you all next week, and best of luck to everyone competing in touring PGCS. By the time you hear this, it's probably over, but that's fine. All right, we'll catch you all next week. Peace.